another audition for another student movie. This one is for the role of like a vampire. And once again, it's black and white. I have no idea what to expect, but this time it's spoken, so I have my lines. So I hope I won't need to pantomime. Oh my god, this one felt like a real audition. I'm just here in Hampstead. So yesterday, the audition, it was for a student movie and for a role of like a 200-year-old vampire. I think like it was okay. It was different than the first audition. It was kind of funny because the lines that I'm saying are quite like it's a few quite intense lines, like in emotion. It's a bit of anger and disgust and just something along those lines. And just to say that over like coffee practically, because we were just sitting opposite each other at a desk, and it's like to launch into that kind of speech straight away. It's very intense for everybody, I think, involved, and so I haven't had an experience like that quite, because when you're singing and you have music around you, it sort of brings an entire world with it that sort of takes you for a ride. It's like a flying carpet, and in acting you don't really have that flying carpet, so it's kind of like, okay, you just have to do it and just launch into the world without any aid. But I'm glad that I've done it. I feel like it was definitely a good experience. I shall see next week what's gonna happen. The shooting would happen in April, and I have quite some things planned, including a trip to Italy. So if the shooting would happen, it would be exactly 4 days before I leave to Italy, which would be intense. Like, if this happens, my April is very intense. I'm curious what the universe will decide for me. I bought this today, and I just noticed, I can't believe I didn't notice it, that it's broken. It's only from Asda, but it's so sad. Right here, like it's a massive crack, and it's literally completely broken, and I just didn't notice it because there was some cardboard on it. That's so sad, and I didn't take a receipt. But they're definitely not gonna believe me. So I don't think I can exchange it. Well, so that's my broken glass. So I have tea, Lapsang Souchong. If I could drink only one type of tea and they would have it everywhere, this would be it. Which, funny enough, it was the favorite tea of Winston Churchill. It's a black Chinese tea, and it has a very specific taste and probably more smell, because it's made by letting the tea lay over burning pine wood, and the smoke of the burning pine wood colors the flavor of the tea and the smell of the tea. So it smells very, very much like, I don't know, I mean, to me it smells wonderful, but people say it smells like burning bacon, barbecue. I feel like it's the kind of tea that either you love or you hate. I wanted to mention the book that I've read recently, which is The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. And I don't have it here because I've returned it back to the library. Because I've read it about like a month and a half ago. I just didn't include it in my previous vlogs. If you haven't read the book, it is a book about kind of 1 year of her life after her husband, John Gregory Dunn, unexpectedly dies from a heart attack. And she describes in great detail the entire process, plus an entire year of her life dealing with this. The funny thing about this book is that from the start, you already know the end. You already know what happened. And yet, I found that I can't put this book down. I felt like I need to know what else. How is this going to get solved? It's not gonna get solved. But you as the reader succumb to her magical thinking, and you sort of believe that, like, this is gonna be solved. He's gonna appear. This definitely is going somewhere. Maybe because I'm also susceptible to that kind of magical thinking. I would say that it feels like someone's very personal diary mixed up with wonderful ability to take a very sharp scalpel, cut themselves open, examine the pain, write it down in a clinical way. I love this type of dissection. If you have a psychological streak, And if you also like to stand on the cliff of existentialism and look down and sort of feel, oh, it's quite tense, I think you will like this book. So that's it. That's the Year of Magical Thinking. As you can tell, there's still insane madness going on behind me. The booth is still in the process of being done. Hopefully everything will be finalized before my mom comes in here at the end of April. At least enough so that no more wood is on the floor. So that's for whatever's going on in my background right now. I have this box and I have some ideas for what I want the Malibu Barbie music video to look like. I feel like it's gonna have a mixture of like liminal elements with something whimsical. And one of my ideas for a scene will be, I want to paint the inside blue, hang little clouds from here, and then cut out an opening for my head and put the box on my head so that it feels like head in the clouds kind of moment. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Probably. These pigeons keep coming in here. Shh! I have a problem with pigeons in my balcony.
Take off your hat at the
I wonder how it's gonna look like. I think it'll work. I'll wait for it to dry and probably tomorrow I will cut out a head opening.
I never thought of my life in terms of losing time. I was young, I was not losing time. How can I give an advice when in my life? But now what's happened requires much more bravery, which is beautiful about being young, but also it was less complex. Now I just look at situation, I'm just like totally disarmed. I find it's more complex. Also what's happened now with Trump, you're knocked out, you just look at it and you say, you don't even know what, you don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. Sometimes I felt at one moment I was envious of my friends, some of my friends, because they were angry. I had stopped being angry. I'm just lucky I was born in a country that was not in war, family that was clever. The son of a man I lived with for a few years, when he finished school, he decided to go for 1 year far away traveling. We were very happy. He came back after 3 months with a terrible phrase. He said, I realized that all my friends didn't go, so I would lose 1 year.
Decided to go to Tate Britain today. So I'm just in Pimlico and it is so sunny. But I need to go get a coffee first. I had a coffee in the morning, but I really crave coffee right now. Somehow when I look at this, it's giving like Miami. I don't know why. goodness. Hello. Hi. You can smell my baby. Oh, you are friendly. Hi. You like me? You like me? With a little bell. I'm bringing another child. Still going after. And what's this? MI6 building. I don't think I've ever seen it in real life. Oh my god, I'm gonna have a tangerine. I'm trying for the construction madness that's going on behind me not to be seen. Today is another day. I've done a makeup video, quick Instagram reel. So now I'm ready for today. It is very nice, but it's supposed to rain. I'd like to go to Hampstead and just sit outside. And then I'd like to work on some music today, which I don't feel like. Oh my god, I see a pigeon. I know, baby, I know. Yeah, I want to work on some music, I want to write some songs, but I don't know. I feel like recently I've been avoiding it a little because I feel like I've been writing a lot of songs and I haven't been working on getting them done. And so it gets me into a state of where I feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing anything because there is no like result, you know. It's just like you write the song and that's great and you feel good, but there's no continuation to it because the studio hasn't been built. And so it feels like, oh, like I'm not moving anywhere. In fact, I feel in my life like this is a constant problem that I feel like I'm not moving anywhere. I have high expectations over what I want to write. I can decide that I want to write like a villain song or like a pop song or like something similar to this or that, and I kind of can do it, but I feel like that's maybe not so much me. And when I want to really dig deep into what is me, it goes, but it's a bit harder and it gets very complex. It's almost like the type of songs that I want to write are very thematically difficult to grasp and very intangible and very almost philosophical, and it's a very difficult land to tread on. Sort of midway of writing the song you stop believing in it and you feel like, nah, this is not gonna be good, nobody's gonna listen to this, or nah, it's not going anywhere, or it's just too blurry and you don't know what to do about it because the subject is so complex. I have so many songs that I've started to write that I haven't finished for one reason or another. It's rare that I find something that I feel like, no, this has to be finished because this one really speaks to the depth of my soul. And somehow this whole process is worrying because you feel like you're never gonna get there or you're never gonna find something that you like. And so I feel like I've been kind of avoiding doing that. Up going to Primrose Hill because I needed to pick up some shoes, and then I realized might as well just go here. I have my sunglasses with me, I just don't feel like taking them out because I like to see the sky very blue. I'm getting that mood, which I get all the time. The Sagittarian mood of wishing to be somewhere else. Sometimes when I look outside my window in my flat, it looks a little when I look from a very, very big distance. And when the sun is setting just right, I can almost believe it's some sort of holiday destination like Spain or Greece. And I can almost believe that right behind the horizon there's the sea. And the golden sunset sort of wraps all the buildings in this warm light, and I can't for a second believe it. And for a second when I do my reformer, I'm just like, no, I'm in a hotel. Oh, and there's the sea, and if I open the balcony I can hear it, and it's so good. It's a Sagittarius problem.